Hello, and welcome to Exploring Jeeps. This is a video about our trip to Isle Royale National Park. Isle Royale isn't a place that you can get to uh, using just your Jeep. So we did drive our Jeep 8 hours up into the Upper Peninsula, but then we had to get onto a ferry and take the ferry for about 3 hours out um, to the island that's closer to Canada than it is to the Upper Peninsula, going all the way through Lake Superior. We were lucky there and back that we had great weather on the lake, very calm, not super windy. But it was an interesting trip going across all that super cold water. And then we got into Rock Harbor here, where you can see this little building has also the gift shop, uh, like a like a market where you can go in and buy food and all kinds of stuff. It also, I think, is the place where you sign up for some of the camping places, the camping shelters. You can get there by float plane as well. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's significantly faster. Here are some of those shelters I talked about. It was early morning and there might have been people in there, so we didn't film them. But this is the hotel that we stayed in. This is a room. We kind of messed it up a little bit, but just get the general picture. It's a small place with not a lot to do, but the view is gorgeous, and just the tranquility and the sound of the water is just wonderful. Really a great place to go and relax if you want to do that. This is Rock Harbor from the other side over by the hotel, and just a beautiful little port. You see people come in with their boats, but it is, of course, on Lake Superior, which can get pretty nasty. So, we decided not to do any boating out there, other than coming in on the ferry. But it was just a beautiful, tranquil place. It rained a little bit when we were there, but this was the middle of summer, and it was super hot in Illinois, down in Chicago, and it was just beautiful here. Probably in the low 60s, just with all the cold Lake Superior water around you. Just really tempers things and just makes it a pretty nice place to be. In fact, at night we would come in here and they would have a big fire roaring. This is kind of a communal area where you can sit and talk about the days, the hikes you took, and the island's just filled with hiking trails, and they're just absolutely gorgeous, very wild. This is the only really group of buildings at Rock Harbor. There's another set of like a hotel um, on the other side of the island, but it's a more primitive one. Here you can get a full dinner, full breakfast, you know, pretty good food actually. There was a moose actually walking on the path here at this time. It was really a nice place to just go and watch the sunrise, go out and do a bunch of hikes, and just be in the wilderness. There's moose, there's wolves, and there's just a lot of places where you can just explore out in the wilderness, untouched by most of humanity.
What a beautiful morning out here in Isle Royale National Park. Just gorgeous. You could hear just the sounds of all the birds, the loons, the eagles, the seagulls, the crows, and some songbirds that I don't know anything about songbirds, but just gorgeous out here this morning. And that little island behind me, there was an eagle that flew out there, and there have been loons flapping back and forth. They make a lot of noise, almost like a machine gun when they take off from the water. Big, almost 5-foot wingspans on them. Just very cool morning to watch the sun come up.
The hikes through the island, weave in and out. They get out to the coast here, and just beautiful, just scenic places. Reminded us a lot of like Acadia National Park and the coast in Maine. Really, just a great place to hike around. Some people will use the lodge at Rock Harbor as kind of a point. They have boats that'll take you out, and you can get on a trail and then hike back to the lodge. Otherwise, people mostly do camping out there where they just backpacking and they backpack everything in. But there's a lot of loons, beautiful you know pine forests. There's also deciduous forests there as well, and it's just really a nice place to get back to nature. See a lot of animals.
Today we are hiking the Tobin Harbor Trail. We've gone, I don't know, about not quite 2 miles. It's right along the harbor. We stopped here, saw some loons. There were 2 adult loons and a baby. Lots of mosquitoes flying around, but we seem to be doing pretty good with the mosquitoes. We sprayed ourselves down. But yeah, we're doing good today, and hopefully we're going to try and do the whole thing. Go out the 3 miles and then 3 miles back, so that would be pretty impressive for us.
We love seeing river otters, just always so playful and fun to watch. This is the harbor where the float planes come in and land.
We're out in the wilderness here of Isle Royale National Park up in Upper Michigan, out in Lake Superior. And what we're doing today is reviewing the Thermacell 450, MR450. What this thing does is there's these little blue tabs that you put in and take out, and they secrete kind of a smell, a vapor that is not liked by mosquitoes. The way you use it, there's a small little butane canister in the bottom here. You just screw that in, put that on, and then there's a little switch. You turn it on and you can hear the butane going, and then you click this. There's a little igniter in there. You just do that a couple times, and the 450, the MR450 that we have, has an indicator light telling you that it's on and that it's hot, which is kind of nice. And it also comes with a belt clip. Some of the other ones don't have that belt clip, so we've been using it in a pretty heavily mosquitoed area, and what we find is it's not the cure-all for mosquitoes. It doesn't just keep them all away like maybe some people have reviewed it, but we put it on the pack, and then the first person who's hiking kind of draws up mosquitoes, and this kind of kicks them back down and keeps things kind of the way it is. If you're stopped in an area and there's no wind, it's pretty good at keeping the mosquitoes away. Just keeps things a little bit more comfortable. It's another thing. We still have spray and DEET, based repellent on us, which is pretty good. But we just think this is an additional thing when the bugs are really bad to have it out there. So we give it a thumbs up. I think Meg's even more impressed by it than I am. It's definitely a good thing, just something to add. It is a little pricey, however. The refills, you're constantly putting these in, and they last about 4 hours for one of the pads, and then the butane lasts like for 3 or 4 of the pads. But it's not too bad when your other choice is getting eaten by mosquitoes. So.
And the mosquitoes are pretty big. They weren't that bad though. It was a wonderful place. So we ended up we did take one boat trip out to see the sunset. That was pretty nice. And then we took the ferry back to our Jeep, back in Copper Harbor, and then drove home. Wonderful trip though. Highly recommend Isle Royale National Park. Thanks for watching.